Jobless man walked into interview. The CEO said, "You passed years ago. He helped an old woman in the rain and walked away without asking for anything." Years later, he walked into a job interview. Jobless, desperate. The CEO looked at him and said, "You already passed the test. Years ago." Do you want to know how? Watch full video. Like, share, and subscribe if you believe kindness always comes back. It was a cold, rainy evening. People rushed through the city streets, umbrellas up, heads down, no one paying attention to anything but themselves. On a quiet corner, an old woman stood alone. Her name was Mrs. Rosa. She wore a long gray coat, and her glasses were fogged from the rain. One of her grocery bags had torn, spilling oranges and a jar of pasta sauce onto the wet sidewalk. Dozens walked past her. No one stopped. Just as she bent down, shaking, a young man appeared. "Need some help?" he asked gently. His name was Daniel. Early, 20s, kind eyes, worn-out jacket. He knelt in the rain, picked up her groceries, and even used his backpack to carry them. Then he walked her home, 4 blocks away, holding her umbrella without saying much. At her door, Mrs. Rosa thanked him with teary eyes, but Daniel simply smiled and said, "Take care, ma'am." Then he walked away, without giving his name, Mrs. Rosa stood still for a moment, then took out her phone. She had snapped a photo of him, just one, so she could remember the young man who helped her when no one else would. Years passed. Daniel never knew that one rainy evening had left such an impression. He lived a simple life, never rich, never lucky. After finishing college, he took small jobs, delivery driver, part-time clerk, even night shifts at a gas station. He had dreams, but life kept pushing them back. He applied for jobs in big companies, sent out dozens of resumes, but nothing came through. Interviews went well until they saw his resume lacked big names, big schools, or connections. Still, Daniel never grew bitter. He still helped people, opened doors, shared meals, gave a smile even when he didn't get one back. One morning, he looked at his bank account and sighed. Rent was due. He had just one chance left, an interview that afternoon at a company he had barely heard of. He almost didn't go, but something told him, "Show up, just once more." The building was clean and modern. Glass doors, shining floors, peaceful silence. Daniel walked in with worn shoes and a nervous smile. He didn't even have a suit, just a clean shirt and his best attitude. He sat in the waiting area, holding his folder tight. A young assistant came out. "Daniel?" "Yes," he said, standing quickly. "Come this way. The CEO would like to meet you." He blinked. The CEO? Not HR? Not a hiring manager? He followed her into a quiet, sunlit office. Behind the large wooden desk sat a woman in her 30s, confident and calm. She wore a navy suit and a warm expression. She stood up. He didn't recognize her, but she did. She walked toward him, smiled, and said, "You carried my mother's groceries in the rain." Daniel froze. "What?" She turned her computer around. On. The screen was a picture. It was him, years ago, hood up, soaked in rain, carrying a grocery bag. "My mother snapped this picture the day you helped her. She passed it on to me." Daniel's eyes widened. He remembered that rainy night, but he never imagined this moment. The woman sat down and said softly, "You didn't give your name, but you gave something more important, kindness. That's the kind of person I want in my company." Daniel sat in disbelief. He had come prepared to answer questions about experience, skills, and achievements. But now, none of that seemed to matter. The CEO leaned forward and said, "I created this company to be different, to reward people who care. Not just about numbers, but about people. My mom never forgot what you did. Neither did I." She flipped through his resume quickly. "You don't have everything we usually look for," she said honestly. But what you showed my mother that day, that's rare. And that's what this company needs. Daniel felt a lump in his throat. She smiled again and added, "You've already passed the test. Welcome to the team." He didn't cry, but he came close. Weeks passed. Daniel started working at the company, and for the first time, he felt seen, not just for his work, but for who he was. He worked hard. He learned fast. He helped others in the office just like he helped Mrs. Rosa that rainy day. He got promoted. He started training others. And one day, during a company meeting, the CEO shared his story. She ended with these words, "You never know when kindness will return, so give it freely. One day, it might come back to you in ways you never imagined." Daniel smiled as the room clapped. Not for a degree or a title, but for kindness. And that fake job interview, it became the beginning of everything real. Weeks passed. Daniel started working at the company, and for the first time he felt seen, not just for his work, but for who he was. He worked hard. He learned fast. He helped others in the office just like he helped Mrs. Rosa that rainy day. He got promoted. He started training others. And one day, during a company meeting, the CEO shared his story. She ended with these words, "You never know when kindness will return, so give it freely. One day, it might come back to you in ways you never imagined." Daniel smiled as the room clapped. Not for a degree or a title, but for kindness. And that fake job interview, it became the beginning of everything real.